Hey guys, today I'm really excited to finally be able to talk about some of the juicier bits of information that we were able to learn after further examination of the headlines that were shown during the end credits for Godzilla King of the Monsters. With that said, there will be spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, and even if you have already seen it, you probably didn't get a chance to read everything. So if you're like me and you're hungry for more insight into Godzilla vs. Kong, stick around, because today I'm going to break down two key headlines, one about a migration to Skull Island, and another about the possible entry of Monarch created organic titans and mechanized giants into the legendary Monsterverse. The first headline that we need to discuss isn't the main one I want to focus on, but it definitely leads us up to it. Here we have an article stating that the new titans are being drawn to Skull Island, followed up with a question mark, so right off we know that Monarch isn't sure what is causing many of the newly discovered titans to migrate to the island. So right off we know that Monarch isn't quite sure what is causing many of the newly discovered titans to migrate to the island. Or they know, and they just aren't informing the public. We know that the island contains an entry point into the Hollow Earth, and from Kong's own film that at the very least there are more skull crawlers living beneath the island. What other titans might be down there, sleeping or waiting, is unknown. So what exactly could be drawing the monsters to Skull Island? Well, it's possible that due to all of the recent activity on the island, that Kong has had to reassert himself as the alpha to try to maintain some form of order. If this is the case, could it be that his roars have somehow been heard by the others off island, causing them to move there like they did for Godzilla and King Ghidorah? I'm just not sure how loud his roar would be and what its range would be like. I also wonder if there's another alpha titan below the island that's made its presence known, drawing in the other monsters. Unfortunately, neither of these seem very likely, because if there was an alpha call drawing in these titans, Godzilla would likely be the first one to respond, and we just don't see anything in the headlines saying that he's doing that, unless this is what sets up the initial meeting between the two of them. On the other hand, what if it's something that Monarch is doing on the island that's drawing the titans in? Skull Island is remote and mostly unknown, so it'd be the perfect place for them to perform any experiments, including testing a device like the Orca, which could draw the titans in, to something more exotic, like having Monarch growing and creating their very own titans and even making some kind of mechanized giant. And yes, you heard that right. After looking at this headline a little closer, we find out that Monarch had made their own organic titans in the past and that they're working on a mechanized giant. So why would Monarch need new titans and some kind of mech, unless they feel that Godzilla and Kong won't be able to handle the threats that are out there? We know from the Godzilla King of the Monsters novel that creatures are coming to the surface on Skull Island in response to the alpha calls from Godzilla and Ghidorah. I suppose it's possible that the flow of these creatures from below the island, along with the arrival of the newly awakened titans, is just too much for our boy Kong to handle on his own. So why not just lure Godzilla to the island to bring balance? Well, I'm betting that they know that Kong considers himself to be an alpha just like Godzilla, making the two likely rivals. On top of that, with Kong being an ape, he'd be the easiest one to learn about and to try to communicate with from a scientific standpoint. They could be keeping them separate so Godzilla doesn't kill Kong, allowing them time to study him, all the while using him to keep what's down in the Hollow Earth trapped below. If Monarch has in fact created their own new titans, then this could open the door to more licensed Toho kaiju to make an appearance. There are easy entries that are basically just bigger versions of known Earth creatures like Kamacuras, Ebirah, Ghidorah, and even Zilla. Scylla, the spider-like titan, may have been an homage to Kumonga, but we could also get a more screen-accurate version here, made special by Monarch. We also know that Mike Dougherty wanted to see Biollante and Gigan both show up in the later films, and both of them are great choices to be created or grown by Monarch. But there are lots of others that I could easily see filling this void, such as Anguirus, Megalon, Megaguirus, Varan, Manda, Baragon, and even the Gargantuas. Or how about a clone of Godzilla or Mothra giving us Batra, or even some kind of Earth-made take on Space Godzilla? We even have the use of the Oxygen Destroyer in King of the Monsters, so that could bring us Destoroyah or some other Titan using possible Ghidorah DNA. As far as the Mechanized Giant is concerned, will this thing be an updated Toho creation or an original Monsterverse mech? If it's a new one, that's cool, but there isn't much to talk about until we see it. But if we get an updated Toho mech, then who's it gonna be? The first one that comes to mind has got to be Mechagodzilla. We even know that the rights are available because it was used recently in Ready Player One. This is easily the most popular robot in the Toho Godzilla universe and would make the most sense to bring over to the Monsterverse. Another possibility is Mechanized from King Kong Escapes. Monarch could use Kong as a template and create their own version as a defender of humankind. The original version of Mechanized was built for mining dangerous materials, so it's even possible that he could be created in the Monsterverse to take deep into the Hollow Earth for further study. We know from the synopsis for Godzilla vs. Kong that Monarch is trying to learn the origin of the Titans and how it ties into the Hollow Earth, so as crazy as it sounds, it could be close to what may happen. Mogera is another mech from the Toho universe that we could see, but I kinda doubt this one as it's probably the least popular of the mechs and wouldn't be as recognizable to non-Godzilla fans. On second thought, I forgot about the drilling capabilities of the land Mogera, which could come in handy when exploring underground. Which pretty much leaves us with Mecha King Ghidorah. Now we know that Godzilla supposedly killed King Ghidorah at the end of Godzilla King of the Monsters. However, Michael Dougherty has said that the Titan is able to grow back from any part of its body. So really, we could get another one from the body's remains, or even from the decapitated head that Jonah acquires in the end credit scene. Either way, Ghidorah could easily lead us to Mecha Ghidorah. The only other robot-like kaiju from the Toho universe would be Jet Jaguar, who doesn't seem likely to show up, or Mecha Mothra, an unused concept that has about as much chance of showing up as my boy Jet Jaguar does. So what do you guys think about this bit of information leading to Godzilla vs. Kong? If we do see new Titans, would you like to see an updated Toho design or an original legendary creation? And of all the mechs in the Toho universe, who would you want to see updated for the big screen? As always, your likes, comments, and subscriptions go a long way towards helping the channel grow. Thanks again, and I hope to see you next time.